Okay. This is a little bit more comfortable right now. Yep. 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 Snugly. Okay. Alright, so let's go to our bay. Drop some of these things in here. Did it like reorganize them? Let's go to our labs, samples. Alright, Brain Eaters, taxonomy entry added. Sweet. Let's do a little bit more analysis. All data logged on taxonomy. Taxonomy. Alright. No relevant taxonomy. Okay. No relevant taxonomy. Can we be the ones who determine the relevance of things? No? Like, you know. Alright. No relevant information either. And we did this one, I think? Yep. Alright. Okay, cool. That's the lab work. Lab work is done. Alright, let's check out the taxonomy. Setaphora, bristle carriers, brain eaters. Plumus marivorus. Brain eaters are hairy, frond-like creatures that live in clumps around Gliese 667c's deep ocean brain pools. Looking like large, dark, overgrown ferns, they sway their branchy limbs through the pools, whisking the cloudy brine as they do. Each frond is thick with bristles, which are often caked in a bright orange substance that reacts to the brine on contact, brightening as it does. What exactly the substance is or does is difficult to tell, but it seems that the eaters intentionally foster its growth on their limbs, using their matted hair to keep it attached. Individual eaters can be hard to isolate from the clumps they live in, making additional observations difficult. Understanding more about these creatures will require us to gather some samples. Let's check out some behavior. Analyzing samples of the bacteria which grows among the hairs of the brain eaters' fronds has shown that it is their main source of nutrition. This bacteria, which is extremophile in nature, is able to metabolize the toxic brine the eater dips it into. The eater repeatedly dips the bacteria into the brine in order to regulate its growth, with each dip causing a rapid increase in reproduction within the bacterial colony. When the eater's limb is thick with orange microbes, it then wipes it across another frond, where much of the bacteria is quickly digested by the creature, leaving just enough behind on the limb to regrow the colony. It seems the name brain eater is a misnomer. It is the bacteria which eats the brain, and eaters just consume the bacteria. Okay. The bay and habitats. Alright, let's look at the next log. Personal log 052216, Dr. Ellery, boss. So before we actually read this, I actually just was thinking during the last little session here. I had been, I don't know the name Ellery, but it did kind of come across my mind though as feminine. So in my mind, I was kind of playing this character, not playing this character, but I was thinking this character was actually female. Not only that, but because Voss, you know, the character from Orange is the New Black, I couldn't help but associate a female character for this. But it did get me thinking: would Minay and Ellery Voss be in a relationship of some kind? And if it were male and female, or female or male and male, I'm just kind of curious as to if there was an intention behind it in the narrative, intention being they had a choice in mind, or if they don't really care, they let the players kind of decide themselves, as it's relevant or not to each person. Just kind of curious. I'm kind of playing with my own perception over these correlations of Voss from Orange is the New Black and Ellery, whatever Ellery means. I never heard that name before. Okay. Is Monet still Monet? I don't, what is Monet? Is that a last name? Is that a first name? And if that's already been revealed, that apparently has been lost on me. But anyway, is Monet still Monet? What has this place done to her? Okay, on Monet, I think Monet is no longer Monet, and I think it is been taken over by the species of the deep. As we read about some of the fronds having control over the various creatures as they slowly decay things starting from external to internal. So I think there's something happening in the deep ocean that has taken over Monet and is kind of becoming its own. So curious to see how this is going to develop. Okay, enough of that. I have barely been able to leave the medical level, though I dare not enter the surgery. Did she do this by choice? For those few months in Kepler 62F, it was clear that Monet was struggling with something. We never spoke about it, but behind her intensity lay a frenzied self-doubt. She never talked about her family. All I knew was that she was a rare spacer, born out in the black, on some orbital military base. Some days she wouldn't leave the berth, just curled up so small, staring it silently out. Would she do this on purpose, open up her suit and willingly slip into the deep? I suppose it doesn't matter now. All I can do is monitor her. At least I am not alone. Well, I'm here too. Okay. So, our next goal is way out there. Ooh. I kind of missed the higher depths. Okay. Is it just me, or did the UI start dimming? I feel like the UI was just dimming there or something. Huh, I might cut out. Interesting. Alright. Okay. So we have to head west and a smidgen north. Okay, so really there's no other direction we can go in? Alright, let's go over here. Alright, okay. So yeah, this base is a little bit further back, so oh wait, let's grab that sample. Oh wait, both of these have samples? Ah. Deep pollen. Have we... Yes, we have. Okay. Large floating particles produced by deep sea plants. Fan sheath. Yeah, we definitely have gotten a fan sheath. Okay. So... I kinda don't know where to go. Or how to get there. I'm gonna head back. I know there was a fork in the road a while back, so let's go ahead and navigate all the way. Oh, what's this? This is new. Oh, right. That's the... Oh, crud, what is that? Ow. The blowtorch. Whoa, what's that? Fast creature. That's the original. These rapid swimming lobster-like creatures. Oh, hold on. These creatures are so fast. Their dark coloring makes them hard to see, but let's keep track of them. These rapid swimming lobster-like creatures have dark shells with very large translucent tails, sorry. How do they move so fast? I love this music. Keep going around. Wait, something new. Oh, another crab-like creature. On closer inspection, the large translucent crest appears to be gas-filled organ or a bubble of some kind, rising from the slit in the shell. Ew. Alright, so I think the fork is out here somewhere. Yeah, the fork is over here. Okay, cool. I mean, we do have to go way west, so... There it is. Yeah, look how well aligned that is. Alright, here we go. Basalt towers. Another group of towers rises towards a pale light, each strata piled with silver silt. Shadowed gap. In the shadow of the towers there is deep silence. Ooh. Complex creature. A mass of tentacles around. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What is that? It looks like a whole menagerie of creatures caught in this silken net. It just zapped half our power. Oh, crap. Oh, there he comes. Oh, crap. We gotta go. Go, go, go. Is he gonna follow us? A mass of tentacles grows unlike anything I've seen. It's difficult to understand the anatomy of these creatures just by looking. I was gonna go hang out over there. From between the towers, a pale blue light flickers over the rocks. Flanked with towers, this path leads ever deeper down the slope. Although blue light does sound interesting. The typical Half-Life 2 blue light, right? Veils shimmer along the slope, marked with both glittering lights and dark remains of those creatures who stayed too close, or strayed too close. Oh gosh, it's gonna be us. More veils. We need to be careful. Excuse me. There must be a way to find a path through. Well, these aren't lit up. This close to a veil of the light is unbearably intense. Its repeated patterns leaving ghosts in my retinas. Now here's one of those complex creatures. I'm gonna avoid that. Oh, look at the spread. I'm gonna wait. Gonna wait just a moment here. Retracted. Okay. Alright. Tangle edge. Even on the far side of the tangle of the veil's lights can be overwhelming, multiplying my shadow on all directions. Points of light. With the blinding veils behind me, I notice smaller pinpricks of light moving across the slope. There are other creatures here. Overgrown outcrop. This outcrop hides a wealth of life, from long-legged creatures and filter feeders to blurred shapes with which flit through the suit's lamps. Crab-like creature. These wandering creatures noisy chew away at the rock and silt of the ocean floor, filtering it for nutrients, perhaps? Ooh, new species. And what about this thing? I'm calling these cryptic creatures water bulbs. Let's see what we can uncover about them back at the lab. And we have another complex creature here. Occasionally, this creature stops and unfolds its tentacles in chambers to cover a broad area of water. Is it hunting? Yes. Remember it zapped us? We should have used our blowtorch against that thing. Alright, so I know it's going to pass through here. Alright, pale petals. Each of the wide petals has a pattern of stomata and stamen across its surface, and from these, some kind of pollen is drifting out in clumps. Glowing fan. This huge curved fan glows with a warm bioluminescence. Waves of amber light pass up in its considerable height. Bright fan. Significantly taller than the bloom's fans, these creatures seem to favor the rocky substrate of the ocean floor's basalt pillars. Alright, let's head over to our glowing fan. Okay, we're not getting injured, that's good. Sampling available. This is one of those crab-like creatures. Different individuals of this species seem to have varying sizes of bubbles on their backs. Are they carrying oxygen in there? Pale petals. On closer inspection, these petals are solid growths, not fragile objects. They sit like thin tree clumps in the sand, each on its own wide stalk. Oh, we already have that. It's a complex creature. I guess it's circling this whole area over here. And this one. Fast creature. A better look at these creatures shows that they are swimming with their rear legs while using their tails to propulse themselves somehow. Deep oasis. From this side, Alright, we're here. This arrangement of pulsing and growing forms nestled into the basalt is a sanctuary of life and warming light. Oh wait, did we not collect the sample before? Oh, crud. Alright, let's head back. Fan sheath. Okay. Ovular growths. Standing beside these clusters of egg-like forms, I can feel them filtering huge amounts of seawater in pulsing gulps. It's Laney Vintage! Hi! How are you? Welcome back to the stream here. Good to see you. Oh. That one got away. Crab-like creature. Crab-like creature. Downward slope. Away from the outcrop, the silty slope begins to descend again. Snare veil. Oh boy, what is this? Complex creature. Oh goodness. We have to get away. Okay. I'm doing well, doing well. Glad to hear you're doing well. Veil fields. A large field of veils, whose pale blue light appears unpleasantly cold in comparison to the warmth of the oasis. Oops. Whoa, fast one. Okay. Bright veils. A large tangle of veils stretches out ahead, producing a cyan light that softly flickers in the dark. Let's go this way. Let's go slightly more north. Alright. Now I don't want to go through this. Veil fields. It's a feature. The veils here create a set of gauzy walls, closing off the ocean around. Hypnotic lights. There is beauty to be being inside a field of veils, a song of lights that makes it impossible to keep a sense of direction. I lost my sense of direction ages ago. No wonder Mine's ROVs never return. These veils are everywhere. Like on Earth, they must rely on predation to survive. Whoa, what is this guy? The same little thing. Oh, I didn't finish reading it. Got distracted by the fast thing. The tangled veils create a translucent twitching maze. Let's go ahead and go over there. Navigate through all of these little bits. Veil clearing. Oh no! Okay. Did you hear that water? I don't know if that was like coincidental or if that was actually like a thing that the game does when stuff gets closer to you. Who knows how temporary these gaps in the walls of veils are? We should make use of them while we can. Oh, so it could close up on us? That's a little frightening. These looped veils are carrying a wave of light that passes from one individual to another and back again. What does this mean? They're communicating. Oh, we are low on power. Veil edge. Oh, it's the same little guy. Freaking me out. Lake City lights beyond a curtain. I can see the warm pinpricks of an oasis behind this waxy veil. Veil passage. An avenue between the veils. Flickering shapes caught in a suit's lamp suggest other creatures make use of this safe passage too. We are one of those creatures. It keeps scaring me. Narrowing passage. The veils are coming together ahead. I hope this gap will remain open long enough for us to pass through and come back. Translucent shell. Some creature has shed or lost a segment of its tail shell here. Among the veils. It looks small enough to sample. But we have to go through it and we don't have a lot of power. Do we just do it? Can we use some of these for power? Whatever mucul is, I don't know what that is. Seed. Large floating particles produced by deep sea plants. That's the same thing. Let's see what happens. Wait. Oh. I don't know. That sound doesn't sound positive. I'm not gonna do it. Oh, we're here. Okay. Screw it. Let's go. Oh, and we gotta get out. Oh, man. Alright. 5% animal. Tail segment. A section of shell from a creature with a translucent tail. Oh, man. Alright. Man, I don't want to go back. Alright, let's see if we can put one of these things in there. Nothing. We still consumed it. It did nothing, though. That did just enough. Oh. Okay. We are still in it. Okay. What are you? Creature remains. Sample candidate. This veil is hung with the husk of its catches, like dark clouds obscuring the starlight sky of its bioluminescence. Alright. Some sampling time. Digested remains. Ew. 10% animal. Not one of these things. An unknown creature caught by a veil and partially digested. Alright, let's go to this point. And see if we can go over here. Yes, we can. Tingle Edge. A gap in the tightly knotted veils leads to the welcoming amber light of another oasis. Let's go. Alright. Jackpot, maybe. Crab-like creature. Each one of these shells creatures seems to have its own territorial loop, an area of seafloor it systematically searches through. New species! Wait for her to chime in. I'm gonna name those cold fire bathers. I said blathers like the owl in Animal Crossing. They seem to be strongly linked to the light. And that's what we read. These wide petal-shaped plants gather in groups and grow in the light of deep-sea fans. Their pollen fills the water around each stem. Here's another sample candidate. This fan shimmers with waves of cold fire, bathing the surrounded oasis in warm lights. Boy. Bright fan. Unlike the bloom's fans, these deep-water variants are covered with a translucent sheath of mucus, which protects their delicate spines. One of these shapes, okay. One sample, gotcha. Alright, what about you? Deep oasis, another garden of creatures rooted into a dark basalt shelf. What are you? What is this? Complex creature. Okay, we are out of its range. It is hard to tell if this is a colonial creature or a single individual. Whichever it is, we should keep our distance. Yeah, I agree. Living outcrop. Tiny creatures crawl silently along the layers of dark rock, leaving behind small, strange marks in the shallow silt piles. Let's go this way. Wait, is this a creature? Complex one? Yes, it is. Now let's go. I didn't realize there was a sampling here. What are we doing on space? That's about it. Oh. Basalt shelves. The veil seems to sit away from these basalt shelves, preferring to see themselves in the silky dark between rocks. Bare outcrop. This side of the outcrop where the warm light of the fan does not reach is absent of light. Alright, let's go back. Go up there. Okay. Ovular growths. These pale pulsing creatures have noticeable growths, budding off from their central form. We could sample them here. Let's go do that. Oh, what are you? Okay. Not dangerous. We don't know what this is. Alright, so we need some power. Boom. I believe this one doesn't do anything. Let's go ahead and grab this thing. Clampy, clampy. Ooh. Aww. It looks like, Aperture Science Turret. It's so cute. The bud of an egg-shaped creature found in the deep. Basalt pillar. At the northernmost tip of this outcrop, a dark pillar rises up, its stacked layers edged with pale silt. Oh, wait, what? Wow, the fasting. These creatures seem to follow the same routines back and forth. Oh, this one almost got away. Abyssal sail shell. Small, dark creature. Oh, she's gonna come in. I'm calling these abyssal sail shells. Those wide tail plates are instantly something. Gotta read a little bit faster. Alright. Abyssal sail shell. Abyssal. Whatever. Small, dark creature with a large translucent tail shell that allows it to rapidly move through the water, navigating the veil tangles safely. Okay, this must be the... This could be the tail that we grabbed the other few minutes ago. Alright. Away from the outcrops, the veils claim what territory they can. This field is the largest I've seen, wandering away into the deep. Alright. Let's go a non-committal in the middle here. Alright, so we definitely don't want to cross. Oh no, what are you? Oh. Is it curious? It checked us out and went away. I'm curious. A group of looped veils output the same pattern in an ornate game of call and response. They are communicating with each other. Or are they communicating? Oh, there's a complex thing. Alright, let's head over here. See if there's a way around. Maybe there's a thing right here? Yes. Veil gap. A split in the veils leads into the ornate interior. Navigating this huge tangle will be a struggle. Let's go. The veils are reaching... Oh. It's a complex thing. Keep an eye. The veils are reaching in towards this point in the ocean floor, like a vine seeking the sun. Man, where are we going? Twisted passage. Here are the walls of veils. These guys are a little curious, huh? Here the walls of veils come in close, turning away from the core of the tangle at strange angles. Mirrored veils. The veils on each side are mimicking each other, both in shape and pattern, their pulsing lights playing a mirror game. Aww. From this middle point of the tangle, it's impossible to see beyond the glimmering walls to the ocean beyond. Oh, this little guy likes us. Nope, I want to go over there. Complex thing. Oh, deep orrery. What do you have to say about this, Ellery? With all these orbiting polyps and strings, I am naming this creature the Deep Orrery. Veil waste pile. Bodies of creatures that were trapped in the veils lie piled in the silt. These veils must pass them here from tangle to tangle. I don't like the dots around them. It's that abyssal thing. The curving walls lead to another gap in the tangle, filled with light and movement. Alright, where are you gonna go? I don't want to go this way. Kind of exhaust this pathway until we can't move anymore. Volcanic shelf. A large basalt pillar sits on the shelf, its dark skin textured by the lights of the nearby tangle. Basalt outcrop. At the far side of this veil field, this outcrop sits silently, dappled with the warm pockets of life. Deep oasis. Sample. Let's just head there and then read it. The glow of an amber fan and the soft shapes of its petal audience can be seen just behind the black rock. Let's grab a sample. Oh, we are full. Now we don't need any more deep pollen. Glowing fan, shielded from the veils by the basalt pillar, this fan hosts a small colony of petals, their pores speckled across its sheath. Ooh, new species. Oh boy, what is this? Is this one complex? It just zapped us. Alright, so we have to be cautious of the deep thingies as well. Exposed roots. The petals here have had their roots dug up by some creature. We could take a sample of them here. Stay away from me. What is this? Fan sheath. We have plenty of fan sheaths as well. Should be that. Actually, yeah. Let's grab that guy. And power up. Bright tangle. These glittering veils have formed a close perimeter around the outcrop, but seem to be keeping their distance. Alright, what is this sample? We don't know. Alright, well we need energy anyway. Ooh. Petal roots. The bulbous roots of deep sea plant life from a glowing oasis. The change in the water is slightly unnerving. Ow. Got me again. Ovular growths. At the tip of the shelf, fed by a soft current, these creatures pump moving water around the outcrop. Is this why the veils stay away? What are you? Okay. Nothing over here? Okay. Guess we'll go over here. Tangle gap. This gap between tangles allows passage further down the slope. Clear water. Go clearing. Another clearing in the field surrounded by possible... Oh gosh, what are you? Okay. Routes both through and past the flickering veils. We just got away from that. Tangle split. One tangle has split away from the other here. Let's go. I'm not gonna finish reading that. These creatures are freaking me out. As tangles split away from each other and the density of the field parts to thin out. Let's keep going. Translucent shell sample candidate. A shell segment gleams. Is this the shell? This might give us energy though. We could grab that sample, but we'd be spending power to get power. Eh. The veils thin out, the last of the light falling across a sandy slope as it descends into deeper water. Alright, we need to keep heading west, but still north. What are you? Okay. Descending slope. The slope continues to... It continues its irresistible descent towards a descent abyssal plane. Yeah. Definitely irresistible. Alright, let's keep going. Another shelf appears out in the dark, but nowhere on its surface can I see the warm glow of a fan. Basalt outcrop. Unlike the other outcrops, this one is free of life. Its proximity to the veil is vital for other colonies to coexist. I don't know. Why is there no life on this rock? Disabled ROV. Another one of Manet's ROVs scattered across the outcrop. We should be still... We should be still be able... Well, that's a typo. To use its transmission cord to reach the base. Ooh. Here in the middle of the outcrop, a ROV. This one was carrying a supply of cash too. We can recharge and refill our oxygen. Let's access its map data. Open up the terminal when you're ready. Recharging our power. It seems like this ROV was disabled by the veils, like the other one. This can't be right. The mapping scans report a large physical anomaly just north of here. From the data, it looks like a structure. That's impossible. Maybe the veils fried the sensors. Either way, we should go check it out. Yeah. Let's go check it out. I don't want to be taken out yet. Past the shelf there is only the dark of the descending slope. So can we actually head north from here? Yes. There's nothing here but the silt filtering in the suit's headlights. Let's keep going. Ooh. That's an anomaly. That shape right there. That's not organic at all. Angular rocks. Some strange geometric rocks sit in the dark. What are these formations? Unknown structure. A huge flat structure bedded into the seafloor. Could Manet have built this? Looks like a waypoint. What are we looking at here? It appears to be some kind of shaft cut into the bedrock. I can't see the bottom. Who made this? It looks like it's been here far longer than anything else. Dark shaft. A yawning black shaft that descends into the seafloor. An anomaly that must be solved. Ooh. Into the depths. Deeper. Deeper. Collapsed room. The compartment is filled with sand and rock, which looks like to have entered through the collapsed ceiling. Open shaft. The suit's lamps reveal two dark holes on opposite sides of the shaft, their torn edges thick with crimson rust. Let's go to this one first. Oops. Wrong button. Alright. Doorway. Shadowed corridor. The bent entryway bulges inward, like the interior corridor of some huge creature's distended body. Ooh. Oh, there's some critters in here. Pale polyp. This almost motionless polyp with its waving... Oh. These pale creatures are scraping patterns into the wall. What are they? Let's see what we can find out. This almost motionless polyp with its waving cilia is anchored to the metal plating. Its pale flesh is drained of color. Sand-choked room. Sand drifts soften the metal room. On the far wall, strange spirals glint in the headlamps as a pale creature obsessively traces their patterns. Okay. Interesting. Let's go a bit deeper. It's getting smaller. Should have scanned. Now we're gonna scan. For sure. Entry seal. A huge round doorway sealed by a thin metal security iris, the plates of which are furred with orange rust. Nothing over here. Torch available. Prime it. Ignite. Why would someone bury this place so deep? We have to get inside. We can use a torch to cut through the seal. Fire it up. Okay, now fire it up? I already did. Okay. It recognizes that we did. Okay. Breach corridor. Sand and rock fills one side of the accessway. Dark holes in the walls and ceiling reveal layers of eaten away piping and ducts. Not quackers. Duct. There's a T in there. Alright, entry hall. Beyond the doorway is a vast dark space opens up out in the rock, filled with the skeletal remains of rusted machines. Whoa. Oh boy. We're all red now. Whoa. Ooh. The water is filled with red flakes catching in the lamps. From the walls, rusticles hang in lumpen garlands. Lupin? Lumpen. Did I write this? Rusticles. I guess that's a thing. This place is huge. How the hell was it built down here? There's very little auction for the rebreather to cycle here. So we are running on reserves. Let's move. Oh, thank you for telling me. I wasn't paying attention there. Ruined hall. Once a loading bay or vehicle hangar, this doomed atrium is now dark and distorted. Its huge sand drifts hiding piles of oxidized metal. I have to read a little bit faster. Alright, let's head there and then read. Rested platform. Above a huge shelf lurches out in the curved roof of the bay. Its underside hung with globular orange spines. Derelict vehicle, is that what I read? The eaten away frame of a vehicle lies outside the lock, the canopy twisted open and fused in place. Arcology entry. A large open lock leads into the depths of what appears to be a corporate arcology. What secrets have been buried in this place? Music has gotten very serious. Open lock. Both doors of the massive main lock sit open. The entire arcology must be flooded. Buried concourse. The vast volume of arcology lies ahead, piled with rock and sand, drowned in this dark ocean. Derelict buildings. The main volume of the arcology is broken up by low buildings, partitioned away from the space. Were these offices, homes? User X Arturo. Massive breach. Life support will fail in 2 hours. Is there anyone from Barkal on this channel? Please respond. Okay, confirmed. Barkal. No comment. I have a few comments. Those are Bacall markings. What was an exoplanet extraction corp doing here? I worked for Bacall. Monet worked for Bacall. They built this suit. They built this base. They mine exoplanets, skim helium from gas giants. They help drive forward humanity's expansion. If they discovered life, we would have known. Everyone would have known, unless something happened here, something they didn't want anyone to know about. Sandy clearing. In all directions, huge sand drifts shine in the dark. Among them, the shapes of crippled buildings resemble the remains of a deserted city. Is there more? No. Sealed alleyway. An alleyway cuts between piles of sand and loose rocks, sealed up with a security iris after the breach. Blocked passage. Passage to the northwestern part of the arcology is blocked by a huge rock slide with boulders strewn across the concourse. Transporter. An automated transport sled loaded with crushed storage cases just unevenly across the sand. So let's go to the locked door. Maybe we could torch it. Torch is available. Is she gonna tell us after we do it? Ignite. Alright, we're doing okay on oxygen. We have some samples, I think, for some oxygen. I think these things will provide some. Okay. Collapsing wall. Bent on a sharp angle, the wall here is coming away from the floor, leaving a sharp-edged opening into the room behind. User Sigurdsson. That's a great name. Site 2 is silent, and there's nothing from the Ophelius. Or nope. I like what I came up. That's not what it says. Opelos. Let's go with Opolos. That sounds good. Site 1 is off the grid. Where are the rescue teams? Break room. The tables, this ordered rows of chairs. This had to be where they ate, where they spoke. How many lived here? Oh. Scattered seats, chairs lie in disarray. What happened here? Was it sudden or slow creeping realization that everything was about to end? No, one of those things. Pale polyp. Scans suggest the creature is eroding the surface below through its cilia, absorbing nutrients from the oxidized metal. Hacking. User G Jones. Generic Jones. Nothing from the Ophelos. Did they misspell it before? Ophelos. Their feed just cut out. We are GJ. Dyslexia. We are being erased here. Bacall is pulling the plug. Whoa. User Mikami. Disobedience will be reported. Consider your next action carefully. Damn it, Koji. We are dead and buried here. And, ooh, heavy drift. That left a heavy drift, that's for sure. Sand slopes down over the tables and chairs from a breach in the wall. It's hard not to imagine witnessing the breach. I agree. Oof. Missing wall. Were these gaps smashed through when arcology was breached, or are they part of the slow process of rust and decay? Crushed room. This room was totally obliterated by rock and sand. The shards of bent wall are the only remains of the building. Pale polyp? The polyp's flesh recoils at the barest hint of pressure, but no further movement or response occurs. Dark corner. The facility twists away into the dark. Drifts of pale sand filling its corridors as if it was an ancient tomb. What was this one? Crushed room. Alright, let's go over here. Lots of little bits. More creatures. Spirals have been etched across the surface, representing the polyp's path of movement at the rate of an inch per week. Oh, you can determine that really quick, huh? The metal plates here are marked with elaborate spiraling patterns. Their markers ghostly polyps scrape back and forth, adding to their work. Oof. Bright spirals. The wall glistens with a thick secretion, led by a polyp retract in the same pattern over and over. We could sample this thick mucus here. Yeah. Let's get that mucus. Alright. Let's experiment. Oh yes. Lots of oxygen. We are totally fine. Mucus. Spiral secretion. Alright, so let's use one more of these. Okay. And let's grab another one of these. I kind of want to get the intended amount that the game wants. So if the game offers 3, I feel like we should grab 3. But I don't want to waste oxygen thingies. Because we still need samples. We need to keep these. I mean, 1 is okay, but we could use a 2-fer. Alright. Let's scan the slow mason, new species. I'll call these slow masons for their careful glacial etchings into the arcology's wall. They are hypnotic. I don't know why hypnotic reminds me of that. The remains of a workshop or office flooded with sand and rock, twisting metal plating hanging from bent frames. I realized I didn't read this bit. Slow, colorless polyps found inside the ecology ruin. They trace spirals across the metal remains of the facility, feeding off of it. If we have to come back, we'll grab the last sample on our way out. Blocked corridor and refill this set. Sand has filled this corridor, which looks to have led back into the entry hall. The breach must have been catastrophic. Bent desk. A metal desk pushed against the sand drift. A Bacall branded mug holds a pile of rotting paper from drifting away. Good paperweight. Let's see if we can continue any further. Ooh. Message. Cert Saruta. No one is coming to dig us out. Constantin has cost us everything. The entry hall just breached. This is it. I think they're talking about the water coming through or something. Alright. Let's fill up this bit here. And let's grab the last one. There's a little gap, so good use. Good value. Alright. Oh, are these new? That's weird. No, they're not. We already read these. Oh, they're just white. Okay, gotcha. Here's a few more. Or one more. Galarza. I'm sorry, Isabel, for what we did here. What'd you do? Ruined births. Among the sand drifts that fill these 4 buildings are the shapes of tiered bunks. This is where they slept. This place isn't a facility, it's a city. How many more died here? Those without dive recorders. Those buried under rock and sand. Makes my skin crawl. The door to the berths is slid back, revealing the sand-choked beds of the arcology occupants. Oof. Crew quarters. On the still intact berths lie decomposing clothes, a single glove, a pair of round, clouded glasses. Yato. I'm going to get some shut-eye. First geoengineering shift is in 4 hours. See you in 3. Let's head this way first. Apuli. I lied to get here, Kai, and now I'm going to pay for it. I'm gonna play for it? What do you... excuse me. What do you mean? This isn't even my real name. That's weird. Anderson. You don't know that, Jason. They're going to come for us. No one is coming. We both know that. Crew berth. A set of overalls lie flat on the berth. Wisps of sediment drifting from their openings. A Bacall logo is still faintly visible. See if there's anything back here. Nope. Let's head back. Behind the crew quarters, huge pipes sit against the wall, surrounded by sand. What was powering this place when it was in operation? This got real dark. Huge pipes. Were those supplying the power for the ecology? Perhaps a geothermal plant buried deep below. Collapsed tunnel. The wide tunnel to the northern part of the arcology is completely collapsed. Is there anything left under all those tons of rocks? I wanted to say tones. Those rocks are so toned. Okay. Broken pipe. This pipe, now filled with sand, looks like it exploded outwards, taking the glass atrium wall with it. Shattered atrium. This octagonal atrium was clearly once lined with glass and filled with water, an aquarium at the heart of the facility. Hard coral. Earthborn corals. These polyps built environments for themselves through the calcareous oh my gosh, material deposited as their skeletons. Brain coral. Earth-originating species of coral from the families Mosidae and Murillinidae. They feed through both polysynthesis and filtering. We're trying, people. We're running out of power. Are those corals? They must have brought them from the ocean reserves on Earth. Central atrium. The derelict atrium reaches upwards, its sculpted rock towers rising into the dark. We can use it to reach the upper levels. Oh. Glowing fan. Sample candidate. The fan seems to have a symbiotic relationship with the corals. It consumes their spawn and they absorb the fan's light. I'm going to go here, and we're going to go to that glow fan, because I think they offer energy. Let's see if this offers energy. Very, very little. Fan sheath. This is definitely for energy. Okay. See if there's anything back here. Oh, there is. Corroded gap. A ragged split in the atrium wall is lined with rust, leading through a dark particle-choked corridors. See if there's anything out here before we go down. Sealed crates. Metal boxes sit on powered pallets. Abandoned mid-transit. What were they moving in and out of this place? Oops. Let's read this one. Buried office. With a prime view of the atrium, this had to be the office of someone important within the arcology. Now it's just another derelict room. Yeah, let's go to the important person room. Betive. I understand, sir. No, we are prepared to follow an erasure protocols. The site is already sealed with all hands present. Whoa. Wonder if that person got out. Let's keep going here. Cave in. The rock and sand covers the rusted metal of the arcology so completely that it is hard to know where the facility ends and the caves begin. Alright, I'm assuming this is the last part, but let's check it out anyway. Could be a creature or something. Ooh. Bright spirals. Sample candidate. The walls here are covered in spiraling patterns, an obscure lexicon written in the glistening trails of mucus. Let's get some mucus. Spiral secretion. Can we use secretion for this? It's only a little bit. No oxygen. Okay. It didn't consume it at least. Alright, so we can grab a few more of these thingies. Oop. Alright. We'll wait until we find more samples for things. Anything out here? Oh my gosh, how deep is this? Cave complex. Here, the collapsing archaeology walls have broken through into an existing cave complex, deep beneath the ocean floor. Alright, we're getting really far from that deepy thing. Alright, I'm beginning to think that we should go back, check that out, because it might actually be shorter than what we're doing right now. Definitely don't want to miss out on something. $15.58. Oh, it's up. Upper archaeology. 8 broken windows stare out of the atrium into the upper floors, where white paneled walls resist the rust. Broken glass. The shreds supporting the window have corroded away, their uncoated metal now furred with rust. Atrium statue. At the top of the basalt pillar, a miniature statue of Bakal's suit stands heroically. What the hell was this place? Remember, it was the aquarium. Like all the broken glass. This whole facility destroyed, buried, erased. Was this what Monet was looking for in the deep of the ocean? But how did she even know it was here? I feel like I'm swimming through other people's secrets. ROM. Dive recorder. We owe the artificers nothing. We can't even prove their sentience. They're immaterial, one Bakal has every right to exploit. Sanddrift. The grubby white paneling gives way to the golden sand and rock, bursting out from within the rooms themselves. Even in its sorry state, the paneling and double ceiling lock suggests a Bakal lab. Machines glint against a wall. Go to this one first. Keep an eye on our resources here. Biohazard boxes. A transporter has split its load of biohazard containers in a faded but unmistakable neon yellow. What has happened here? Alright, we're gonna go to the lab. Assuming this will have an end. Oh, I didn't read it. This side of the lab is layered with sweeping sand, covering the layers of ornate machinery. Itchy face. Ah. User Santiago. We have to power down. If the shielding is breached, it could blow out the whole facility. Start shutdown now. Mineral skeletons. Ornate geometric skeletons like those found in the bloom. Monet called them artificers. What are they doing down here? I'm gonna keep mispronouncing that probably. Here, the wall seems to have breached through a cave system, opened up during the breach. Cave entrance. A dark and rough slit behind the lab's paneling leads into the bedrock of the planet. Guess we'll continue checking this direction. Oh, long crest, or lung crest. I like to call these lung crests. Those bubbles they carry on their backs are so cumbersome. A shelled, crab-like creature which scavenges the ocean floor in search of nutrients, carries a mucus-lined bubble on its back. Fractured cave. Deep cracks lead into the dark, and a handful of cracks suggest creatures come and go here. Is this a source of initial breach? Ooh, let's investigate. Running low on oxygen. Glistening bubble sample. This cave system must connect to others under the slopes, allowing creatures to come and go. I hope it contains something that gives us a little bit of oxygen. Oops. So does this give us oxygen? Yes, it does. I'm gonna take 2 of those because we really need it. What's that? Mucus bubble. A multi-chambered mucus bubble found on ocean floor. Probably gives us oxygen. Broken panels. The cave and the room have merged here, so it is hard to tell one from the other. Was this cave here before the breach? Cave-in. The rooms here have been buried in rock, leaving only a shattered passage between them. This cave. Sandy concourse. Huge slabs of rock have fallen here, erasing the boundary between the lab and the dark cave surrounding it. Biohazard boxes. The acid yellow containers shine brightly in the suit's lamps. Streaks of rust along their sides show they have sealed with time. It's my favorite ingredient in pasta sauce. Time. Security iris. Sand piles against a barrier sealed by the emergency override when arcology was breached. Let's go. Torch available. Oh yes. Let's breach another wall. Upper entry hall. The ceiling of the entry hall is partially collapsed. Its gridwork of girders bent and rusted. Rusted platform. The rusted, choked hall stretches out in the dark below. Wrecks and rocks lie in the shadows and silt. Oh, we can go down or up again. More down. Should have done another scanny thing. Oh. So we've been here before. Rusticles. Okay. Let's head back up. Buried lab. The entirety of this room is lost beneath layers of sand. The bars of the metal frame, like bent and broken ribs, poke out of the drift. Collapsed corridor. The ceiling here bulges with weight of rock above, the walls and sand curling inwards. Nothing. Okay. Started getting nervous that, like, the environment keeps going out and out and out. Fuse window. A crippled metal shutter has rusted over the hole left by the broken window, a security measure which, in end, meant nothing. Seating area. Around the atrium, some of these seated areas remain, flooded with sand. It's easy to imagine lab techs meeting here on their lunch. Fidanza. The financial implications are massive. We have never even come close to achieving this level of computation before. Oh, we're starting to get to the bottom of this. User Bendiak. I'm sure it's just a standard security drill, Mr. Fidanza. We will be able to return you to the other shareholders shortly. Excuse me. More broken glass. Oh. We have unique things. And we don't need digestive remains. Honestly, we don't need this tail segment either, right? I don't know, maybe we do? I think we dropped it off. And we are running low. Cave in, the ceiling has given way above. Destroyed lab, an entire ceiling of the slab is come down. Equipment cases. Rusted shut, these hulking metal containers must have carried engineering suits or fabricators. Bacall was building something here. Getting closer. Broken glass. Northern lab. This huge entryway suggests this is a complex's main lab. Faded Bacall markings explain procedures for entry and decontamination. Music is getting more intense too. Ooh, something else to torch. Security iris. While the main locks are open, the entryway is sealed with hastily installed security iris. We should be able to cut through. We can't afford to dilly-dally here. Shattered doorway. The glass door here violently shattered by the breach, breaking open what looks like a clean room. Programming lab. Rows of chairs and corroded consoles scattered across tabletops. Precisely machine components thick with some stuff. Let's go over this direction for now. Oh, this room looks smaller. Okay. Ruined fabricator. This looks like a suit fabricator, but retooled to build large-scale machinery. Its buckled plates reveal crimson interior. Suitcases, like blocky coffins, these containers are still used by Bacall to ship their suits to active facilities. Bossmans. The artificers. With them, we could rewrite life as we wish. We could rewrite it to endure. Lucas to surpass us. We just have to. I'm sure we'll come across more mucus. Bacall work suits. A lightweight lab suit sits propped up on a chair. Sediment drifts from gashes in the soft material. Hollow sockets in the helmet face mask. Fiorentini. Take the suits, Akari. Stop arguing without you, this project is dead anyway. Oki needs to survive. The suit is tagged Akari Namura. I don't understand. How? It's impossible. It's her. It's Mine's mother. Oh gosh. This is why Mine came here. She was looking for her mother. She has been here a long time. Decades. Has Mine been looking for her all this time? God, Mine. Why didn't you say something? Anything? I can't. Give me a minute. My little Mine, I'm sorry to leave you all alone. Sing a little for your mother. It's so quiet here. Akari Nomura's lab. The lab is ripped apart, plates buckled outwards. Massive coolant pipes breached. Twisted metal now browned with age. Bacall casing. A long yellow cylinder marked with turquoise glyphs, identical to the casing mounted in the back of the suit. Our suit. This is the same cylindrical casing as the one mounted on the suit. The same casing that houses you. Akari was building it from artificers, building it with the machines and the psychology. She was building you. This is you. One of you at least, a draft. An earlier version, a prototype. Akari is your mother, your creator. Did you know this? Did you know about any of this? No. Then you forgot? You malfunctions? God, I can't think. We need to go. I want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. Please. I don't either. We're almost out of oxygen. I know. Coolant pipe. The inside of this pipe bulges with corroded growth. It stretches outwards and we can go up. Or down. Rock outcrop. The surface of the basalt towers dance faintly when the blue light that falls behind the surface above. They look calm, ancient. Open water. Oh, we can probably do this, right? We are out. I don't know what to say. We are still in range of the ROV on the slopes. Call for pickup. Let's get home. Oh. You're back. I'm down to medical. I disabled the quarantine. Sure, it's a good idea. Whoa, what is this? It's beautiful in here. Okay, is that your name? Yes. I like it, despite the history. Listen, I don't know what you are thinking right now, but I want to say I trust you. I don't know what you knew about the ecology, but about Bakal's history on this planet. Even your own history. But I do know that you helped me, you protected me, you guided me. I owe you for that, no matter where you came from. You didn't choose to be created like any of us, but this place is your home. You are made from pieces of this ocean, from pieces of its past at least. I'm learning not to be afraid of the past. I'm not afraid of her either, of Monet. That is her name now. I think she must have found something among those skeletons in a bloom, something truly alien. I changed her. It changed her. It continues to change her, but perhaps that is what's needed. Change. I found something I think you need to hear. I've been going through the ecology data, and it wasn't the only facility on this planet. There were 2 other sites, 2 other Bakal facilities. We need to find them. Bakal was up to something on this planet, something bigger than just AI research. I don't want to look away. I want to see what Bakal did here on my own eyes. I've marked the site's coordinates on the dive map. We should be able to cut our way in. This is not just about Monet anymore. It's about Bakal. It's about what happened here. It's about your history and the weight it carries. I'm ready when you are.